Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Tuesday Night Flight, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is me, myself, and I am the Midnight Rider, and my host, the guy that's going to run us through the show, make us do what we do, make everything work, big guy KG. What we going to do is we're going to entertain you tonight. Tonight, we got to talk about the terrible loss by USA Soccer. And it's two sides of this argument, and write this down, dog, because I want to talk about the state of soccer before the loss and after the loss, because that pendulum swung heavy today if you listen to people talk. So that's one. The second thing is, are you going to be a casual? So now the World Cup for the U.S. is over. You might watch the rest of it, but does soccer land on your plate? So those are two things we want to talk about when we get to that section of the thing. We also got to talk about this kid. I know we're going to talk Nats. I know I kind of mentioned him in the spot. Actually, I mentioned Forrest Griffin in the spotlight. I think last week I didn't mention him, but I want to mention him tonight. And that's Luis Garcia. Also, some WNBA news we want to hit. I got to get stats from her last game. I don't know. I don't remember what Olivia Miles' last stats were. We got to effort on that. But with that being said, we're going to try to take you around this whole thing and do what we do. I made a mistake on the billboard because the Mount Rushmore is a Thursday segment, not a Tuesday segment. So that's my bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it going. You know what? Like we always do, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you get the party started.
Well,
And then you can get this party started quickly.
we got to get this party started right.
All right, let's go.
So, yeah. Thank you for that rousing introduction there, Midnight Rider, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Midnight Rider. Ladies love his shimmy. I am the big guy, KG. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Flight. We're giving you more of what you're funking for right here. So, first and foremost, Midnight Rider, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Let's go. Let's get this thing going.
Oh, I'm feeling good. I got questions that need answering, so here we go. Kicking it off right now. USA Soccer. They will not win the World or make the World Cup final. I think it's for the first time since 2002. Or
they've been this far?
How does that go?
You mean that they've been this far, or
this is the first they've been since 2002?
Right. You're
okay,
absolutely right.
I caught the headline and I was like, I gotta ask Midnight Rider about that because it don't look right. So
yeah, 2002 they got to. So right now we are one of those teams that are habitually a team that's going to get to the 16. I don't know if they can get past the 16 yet. I don't know if our quality of play is that good. We're better. And this is one thing, if you focus on my words, I said this to you before this game happened, before this whole thing started. I said this is the most talented team or talented group of players. I think that's the way I said it. I think I said most talented group of players. I just don't know if they can be a good team. And I think we saw hints of that last night of them not being able to be a good team. Doesn't mean we don't have the time. Doesn't mean I think our goalie, we got to figure something out there because that kid was real shaky last night. But I think everything else to a point, I think we managed to get to a point where I just think they came out flat. And I think Belgium did something that I wasn't expecting, and I think the U.S. wasn't expecting. They actually came out with a younger lineup, the lineup that kind of helped them in the last round. They actually let them start. So it's a bunch of so what Belgium has is they have this group of guys. They are called the Golden Age. So they're the Golden Age. This is the era of guys that came up together. They contributed to a lot of Belgium's success in the World Cup, and now they're on the back end of being important players. You know, you're kind of starting to phase some of these guys out. So they have brought up some younger guys, more speed. I think that caught USA off guard. I think they came out and attacked the USA in the way that they hadn't been attacked all World Cup. I think they caught them flat on their heels, and the next thing you know, they looking up. They got a terrific shot early on in the first couple minutes. Then they scored a goal at about the 9 to 10 minute mark. The U.S. responds, but then it's just like it just dovetails and goes downhill after that. And I think that's part of that team thing. I don't think yesterday's condemnation of what Team USA is becoming. I think if anything, it just shows you that I think they have to be. I think this team would have benefited from having to qualify, to have to go through the CONCACAF and qualify instead of playing so many friendlies, because I think they'd have been more tested in having to qualify and playing in that tournament. And even though you're playing Jamaica, Mexico, and places like that, you get a better feel of what when it's winning time moments, what you gonna do. In a friendly, you don't have that same pressure. And they say pressure make a monkey eat a hot pepper. So that's where we are. I mean, I think really that was the one, to me, this was the one downside for them being a host nation, was they didn't have a good quality thing to figure out what their players are, because their players are all over the world and then they come back to be Team USA. And I think that's the other problem. And I had a problem with Pulisic saying, like, he literally said in his interview post game, like, I'm hurt, but I'll be good for my club team. Well, that tells me your priority is your club team, not your home team. I'm not going to try to parse your words, but that's what it sounded like. And if we have guys representing us like that, then that's going to put you behind the 8 ball when you get in a tough matchup. When you got to get to getting, and I think you saw a couple times this thing. Argentina came into the minute 80 down 2-0 today. In the 82nd minute, they get one goal. They get another goal later than that. I think it's about the 88, and then I think they get one at 90 plus 2 to go out in the head. Resiliency. I think that should be the word that this team has to learn the definition of. Fight. I think that has to be the word. I understand, because I heard a lot of people, they talking about, well, they ain't got that dog in them, but you ain't been battle tested. Not as this group. This is the first time this group has been together. Go ahead. I know we got comments.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. When you say we don't have people, we don't have a team. So Landon Donovan's not walking through that door. Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard, Brian McBride. These people are not walking through the door. We don't have that type of talent in the USA.
No.
For the men's national team anymore. Is that the problem? But I'm asking questions.
I know you are. So Tim Howard, at whatever age he is now, probably would have been an upgrade over this guy they had at goalie today, or yesterday, I should say. But I don't know if Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey, outside of being like inspirational, I don't know if they make this team. Talent be talent with these guys. I think these guys are way more talented. I just think they had the heart and the grit, and I think that's what's missing from this team.
Matty Ice said Belgium just overwhelmed us. USA soccer is like Penn State under Franklin. Damn.
I know where you're going with that, but I still just think this country's like our go-to guy isn't the go-to guy. Like, if you believe that Pulisic is our best player and not Balogun, then we in the wrong business, because Balogun's got to be the best player on this team, and that's how this team is going to thrive.
Matty also said when Belgium got that goal so quickly after we scored the tie, you could see it. We were toast.
Yeah. And that's where I talk about the resiliency, man.
So I didn't watch it, so I'm asking, was this a moment of where concessions were made, shoulder slump? Like,
you just got to feel. Like I think their whole, how we always talk about, like, you talk about a bully it's cool until somebody stands up to them or punches them first. I think we bullied our way into this space, and then we didn't know how to respond when we became the victim and not the bully or the bullier, for lack of a better term.
Mm. That's deep. It's crazy. So instead of us using a term we use here at the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network an awful lot, instead of going in and punching the gorilla in the mouth, we got punched in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, because they came out and attacked the whole time. And I don't think Team USA was expecting their speed or the level. Because, I mean, let's be real. USA came in, they kind of could get into what they wanted to get into whenever they wanted to. Because I thought they were more talented than, not Paraguay, but I thought they were more talented than, not Turkey, Australia. I thought they were the more talented team. So they got out early on. Australia made them feel the power, and then was like, all right, we got a whole nother thing going. This team is for real. I think the game against Turkey, I think it settled them down a little bit. Maybe they got too fat off of reading their press clippings. You know? So in the words of some people, when that happens, you fatten up frogs for snakes.
Yes, indeed. And what you said that about getting fat off your press clippings. You know, the first thing I heard, you got to stop reading your press clippings. You were small last week. You're going to be small this week. We're not just doing this to ring our heads.
See,
Friday Night Lights, scary games.
Now, when you said that, the first thing I thought about was the coach taking out the tape measure and measuring the length of the court, telling you that the court is what it is. And it's this far wide and it's this far long. No matter where you play it at, it's the same court every time you play. I think that's Hoosiers. I know I didn't get the language right, but you got the idea.
Yeah. Well, first question of the night is a two-parter proposed by the Midnight Rider. He said, how much soccer will you watch? And with that, please explain the state of soccer before and after.
All right, so I know I'm going to watch the rest of this because I'm World Cup committed all the time. Now, after the World Cup, you're not going to catch me watching FC Barcelona or Real Madrid. It's not my cup of tea. I like the best of the best, and I like when teams play for their country. And I think, all right, here we go. I'm going to steal a line from Grant and Danny. I think that part of the U.S.'s problem is they have club pride and not country pride. So I think that becomes a thing for them. The state of soccer before, as we were coming into this, I think everybody thought if we got here to the round of 16, they'd be happy, but it'd be a plus if they got to the quarters. That's all I heard. Now, of course, I understand, heat of the moment, things happen, but you got to remember if you preface everything by the way you stated it before, round of 13, disappointment. Round of 16, you'd be happy. Round of 8, you being here dancing a jig. You didn't get there. Okay. Does that mean that the USA has an overall problem with the way we build soccer players? No, because we've changed it. We've got some places now where kids go into at 13, 14, and 15. They go into these camps and into these programs where they're soccer players and students, but they focus on their soccer. So we're starting to get into some of that more international thing. But part of the problem is because everybody's going to want to do this. And I said this, I was a person that said this before. When Josh was playing soccer, I watched them play and I was like, Team USA has no shot at being great at soccer because we play it too casually. And that's part of the byproduct of that is because you get teams, just like we've kind of dumbed down our basketball where you get all these AAU teams and it's no longer a competition to make these teams. you just get to be an AAU team. And I think that's one of the few things that if I had to change something about the club version of soccer in the US, I would make it a thing that you have to compete for. You can't buy your way into being on a team like that.
Mm. Sometimes you say things and it translates to so much more. The way you feel about soccer clubs and building soccer clubs with the AAU, that's how I feel about basketball teams. There's no competition anymore. It's whoever got the money to go do these things.
Right.
You don't have tryouts really anymore. It's basically you just pick who you want to be on your team, and then that's that. And they have no chemistry. They could play together all they want, but they have no chemistry.
But other part of that is too, they don't. I mean, think about how much these kids get to practice with each other. You know, what was the line that the old coordinator Klingsbury used during the all season? He said something about time on the grass or time on the turf. Like you don't get much time on the turf in some of these leagues. You know, you practicing once or twice, but you come to one practice is, 8 guys there and 4 guys missing, and then you come to another practice, it's another 4 guys missing and different 8 guys there. So you never build that chemistry, and you also don't really have that commitment as much because I'm paying to do this. That's the other part of this.
Mm, mm, mm. Boy, it's gonna be one of those nights. One of those nights. One of them nights you feel like getting down. Matty I said, I still hate penalty kicks decide who advances sometimes. Could you ever imagine a team advance to the Stanley Cup on a shootout or NBA on a free throw shooting competition?
No, but I also don't see the NBA playing 90 minutes and then another 30 minutes, and then the game, if it's still tied, will be playing again, or we're doing the kicking thing. I think that's the only difference. The only thing I don't like about it is you can get a team that once they get in overtime, they get settled. They know we done hit the jackpot. And for us, if we can get the penalty kicks, I say it all the time. Well, I don't say it. I've said it this whole World Cup. Penalty kicks are the great equalizer. Penalty kicks will take the margin of the difference between my best player and your best player and basically chop it down in half. We on a level playing field now. You got to beat my goalie. I got to beat your goalie. And I think that's what some teams end up playing for. You see some teams just sitting back and crowding the zone so you can't get any passes in, and then they'll kick the ball out just to run the time, or they don't make a offensive attempt. That's something I dislike about soccer. It's like I think there should be always a level of attacking. What's up, man?
Anthony checking in. What's happening, brother? He said most of our elite athletes go to other sports because you get money a lot quicker. That's why the U.S. men's national team is so far behind in terms of talent.
I disagree on that. Here's why. Now, until NIL, the earliest you can start getting money is if your kid plays, depending on the type of program he's in for a club team. Like if he's playing international, he's getting paid to play club sports. You're not doing the payment. And I think that's again one of the little backside things that when people talk about sports, I think sports in America has become such a money grab from people trying to scam the system or just get rich quick that you lose certain levels of it. I'm not trying to diss any coach that's a coach in any sport, but there's a level of if you got a kid that can pay, he might not be as good as that kid that can't pay. And I don't know if he's going to be as hungry as that kid that can't pay. So what's the thing going to be? Because I think sometimes those kids that can't pay, you know what I'm saying, they got that dog. I ain't going to say that dog, but they are more ready to fight for that spot. And I think if you put it in an equal playing field where they got to go against a kid that got everything, sometimes that matchup it goes in the kid's favor that doesn't have.
It's funny you say that because an anecdote from the great Doc Walker. He said, if I'm recruiting kids, whether it's little league football, basketball, baseball, soccer, he said, I don't want to recruit the kid that live in a 7-bedroom house with a semicircle driveway and 3-car garage, and he gets chauffeured to school. He said, I want to recruit the kid that live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 siblings and they sleep on 2 different bunk beds. He said, that's who's gonna be hungry to do the work. They're gonna come in every day and do what it takes. Because they make the kid with the 7-bedroom house got that dog, but that kid in that 2-bedroom apartment that's trying to do the right thing and get out, he got that wolf in him. Wolves eat dogs. Thank you, Jerry West, for that. And I think that's the absolute truth.
Okay, I like that one. Now I see why you said what you said.
Andy said that sports in general in the United States, Midnight, is pay to play.
Right.
Now it's phasing out the inner city and poor kids and get the rich kids with more money. Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, you used to play basketball, and at one point in time, baseball was one of the easiest things. Football was one of the easiest things to play, but you can't play basketball like you used to. Like you want to play, there are no more rec leagues where you pay anywhere from $50 to maybe $85 to play, whether it's basketball or football, baseball too. You know, it costs so much, and then the high school teams are getting shitted on because a lot of AAU coaches and travel ball teams don't want the players playing for the high school team. So
It's let's say it this way: we have a pay to play crisis in America. I'll say it that way.
I agree with that. And I've been saying it for years. We've been doing this together for 6 years. And I think you and I had that discussion off the break about AAU and how it's ruining the sport. Travel ball's doing the same thing. Anthony says Little League baseball is a rare case because if you watch the Little League World Series, those are all-star teams, then it seems like these kids have chemistry right away. Some of them have been playing together for years, but when you got like, I love watching the teams from like Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Sometimes those kids are they hungry.
Well, the Little League World Series is the one time I don't root for Team USA or anybody from the US.
Right?
Curacao, baby. That's my country when it comes to Little League World Series.
He said the win
back today.
You say what?
I said Anthony in his bag today.
Yeah. He said the winner you go home shootouts are only doing the World Cup and these international tournaments like the Euros. What's
CONCACAF.
that? CONCACAF. And the South American tournament to determine who goes to the World Cup. And this is why I feel Latin American countries produce the best players because these kids are coming from nothing with no money and not the best equipment.
I think some of it is just the focus and the teaching early. Like, you know, I know some guys that have kids in programs. Shout out to my guy, Applewhite. His son is playing for Nashville FC. He's been there since he's been 15. So, he gets I guess he gets paid. I don't know how the whole system works. Maybe one day we'll try to get either him or the pops in, and we go through that and make that part of an episode.
Most definitely. He said down here in Florida, most of the parks here have replaced the hard court basketball courts with a soccer field, baseball fields, and tennis courts. And up here, they're replacing a lot of the tennis basketball courts with pickleball.
Mm-hmm. So, but you gotta remember, I mean, dog, I realized this. Gosh, I was dating this girl in 2015. Her son and his buddies was playing NBA 2K, and they were playing in the park mode, and like they were doing all this stuff, and I'm like, y'all never played on the on the asphalt, have you? It's like it's a sad thing where it's like, I mean, the most he played on the asphalt was when we would go to the court, he and I, and we shoot around or we play a little bit. But I was like, that's crazy. Like you don't even know the rules to what it's like. You can't just you gotta walk up and I mean and this is what I said. I said, I'll never forget this day. I said, God dang, a video game is teaching kids how you supposed to act on the court when you go up. Like you gotta go and say I got next. And then if your foul go off, you gotta sit and wait till the next ball game on the max court. And of course, on this game, you got a bunch of courts, but you might have to sit for a while, bro. Wasn't nothing worse than winning like a game or two and then having to sit for an hour or 2 hours because the run was so tough.
I've been to a lot of indoor courts, a lot of outdoor courts, and walking up, the first thing you say, "Hey, how many y'all down? Oh, we 4 down. You know, we 8 down, we 9 down." When they say anything more than 6, I'm walking off, find another court.
Right.
But walking into some places and just saying, "Hey, y'all need a 5th? Yeah, I need a 5th. I'm gonna run with y'all then."
And you ain't never seen this. There's no scouting report.
Nope.
You don't know what this dude got. You just
Nope.
looking at him like you watch them warm up like, okay.
I remember walking in the run and shoot, and they said we need a big. You want to run? I'll run with y'all. And all I did all game long, they was like, "Why you not shooting? What I need to shoot for? It's your job to score. It's just my job to rebound. Rebound and get out on the break. That's it." And we won 4 straight games before everybody was like, "All right, I gotta go. I'm starting to cramp up. It's hot in here. All right, that's good for me." You know? But these kids, a lot of these kids don't know. I'm not gonna say all of them because I know Dario knows, Xavier knows, because they actually go to the gym, they go play outside. But you can ride up the street at any court right now, and I guarantee you, even with this, I think it may be drizzling, but even if it's not drizzling, it's a nice day. I guarantee you the courts are empty outside.
Right.
I guarantee you the soccer fields are empty, the baseball fields are empty.
That's also because a lot of that now is monetized too. Like you just
Yeah.
can't go up to a baseball field and take a bunch of your friends and hit around without somebody coming over and saying, "Nah, you can't do that," or "Did you reserve this time?" or whatever. So,
worst feeling in the world. We used to play football on Thanksgiving morning. We went to Walker Mill Park. We played there every year. They remodeled the park. We was all geeked up. We pulled up to the park, 12, 13 cars deep. And they told state police was sitting out there and told us that we had to reserve to play on a public field.
Yep.
And we was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "You have to have a permit now."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life because this used to be a regular just field that you walk up on and you play on."
Yep.
It's terrible, man. Terrible. Anthony said, and it's more to do with that we're dominated down here by South Americans, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Puerto Rico.
Oh, but no, and you gotta think about it. See, like everybody falls into that dynamic, but we got players. You gotta remember, you get birthright. So if a kid's born here, and even though he might have citizenship in other places, like the kid Flowin Balogun, he chose America over England because he knew he had a better opportunity. Now you come to a situation where, depending on what English situation is in 4 years, can you keep him? That becomes a problem more than anything else. There's a couple of kids that they got, the Freeman kid, he's an American citizen. So he's somebody that came through a pipeline somewhere the right way. Chris Richards, another kid that came through the pipeline somewhere the right way. So we gotta stop putting that as the excuse about the Dominicans and no. What we gotta do is when we get a team or we get a group of guys, you gotta make them. This is what the change was with Team USA in basketball. Is you made those guys commit to you and make you play a certain number of games or a certain schedule. And that's when you can build the chemistry, and that's when you build up when your iron starts to sharpen the iron. But if this guy, just like we said with the AAU, when you get 8 guys this week, but it's a different 4 and 4, and you got a different combination, you can't build anything. You can't. But the U.S. has some talent. There's a couple guys that played for. I think there's a brother that played goalie for Japan that had options to play for America. I think there was somebody from Cabo Verde or Cape Verde that had an option to play for the U.S., but he didn't. Like, soccer's a little different.
Yes, I was getting ready to say that because everybody in basketball, everybody runs to play for Team USA. In soccer, everybody's like, yeah, I got options. I can go play somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like Joel Embiid could have played for Cameroon. He got his American citizenship, so he could play for the U.S. But 2 questions. Not to pile on this kid, but do you think the pressure and the potential collapse of Freddie Adu really kind of stopped people from looking at younger soccer players?
No, I think that was the beginning of it. I think Freddie Adu was the stepping stone to you getting everybody else. I just think he wasn't that good, and it showed real quick and real early. Like when he got an international play, it was like, yeah, he was good in Rockville, but he ain't good. He ain't good in Mexico. And then that was one of the things that plagued the U.S. is, I mean, you got this kid Pulisic, but he battles injuries all the time. Balogun has been good, but I think it's more so just you got to get the right guys in the right mix. And then I think the other part is the U.S. was flawed to begin with because they struggled defensively. The back end of their defense and their goalie was their problem. And you can only win so much when you don't have the essentials.
Second question.
I mean, there was a guy, well, technically not a guy, it was a bear that said, "We need the bare necessities." You know?
All right, Baloo. All right. You said that you're going to watch this through and through, so you're not going to be a casual. Do you think the World Cup is going to have the same payoff as the Olympic hockey did?
Ooh, that's a great question. Because the U.S. is out early, I don't know. I think it's, and I'm not gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna say it this way. I think the gold medal in the gold medal game, getting over the hump of Canada, is what pushed hockey to another level. I think because it's the soccer is here, I think you get a chance for a push. I just don't know how great that push is. And I should have done a poll. I wanted to do a poll where um I kind of asked, like, 3 questions. And actually, I think I'm gonna put this in the junkies chat. If I don't remember, maybe you put it in the chat. But if you watch the World Cup, Team USA is out. Are you done? Still watching? I love it. Can't wait to watch more soccer. Those should be the 3 options.
All right, watching, done, and what was the third one?
Bring on soccer, baby.
All right. And Anthony said, "Did you guys ever drive to New York to try to get games in at Rucker Park when you were younger?"
Nah, I love this city.
Let me tell you something, man. New York is TV famous with Rucker Park and all of that, and it's a couple of different parks. The Rucker Park's the most famous, but we had courts like TikTok, Anacostia. It's a court on South Dakota that we used to ball at. I balled on Andrews Air Force Base myself, inside and outside. Balled up all Montgomery County outside courts. If you found a court, you played at it. We just traveled around the city most of the time. Go to Seat Pleasant. Played at the Bladensburg Rec.
So
You know,
most of mine was Fort Stanton, which is up the street from my house. You grab your basketball, you make the walk up the hill, and you figure it out when you get there. There was a couple times I never forget. We played. There was a bunch of us that went to middle school um, together, and we had a five. So we came out and we was pressing folks like we had like a 2-2-1 going, and Cash was like, "What the hell?" Man, we was on that court for about 4 or 5 games because we all grew up in the same system. You know, we all knew what the system was, and we just ran our middle school system and our middle school offense, and boom, we was just killing. Um, you know, it's different when you got cats all on the same page or kind of somewhat on the same page, and everybody's unselfish. Everybody's giving the rock up. So yeah, we won like 5 or 6 games, and then there's times I used to love when I was at Mason, man. I get up, we get over to the field house, and the next thing you know, it's just let's go. And you know, sometimes I was in the pit with the big dogs, you know. Um 5'8" guarding a 6'5" guy.
yep.
Just loving, hey, I'm loving life because I knew guys' games. So yeah, I get Big Cam. Big Cam's gonna try to muscle me, but he already know because he hated when I play. Like he look at me and be like, "Oh, this little strong mud." He used to always say it every game, and we yeah. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Let's stay to the pros. Let's stop. I don't want to talk about the fun we had. We can do that some other time.
All right. Well,
We do that. Maybe we do that on a Friday night. We do it. We call it the De La Soul segment, where we get to reminisce.
let's take a break
Okay.
and we'll come back. We'll take a. You need a short break, long break. What you need?
Uh, give me a show intro break.
You got it.
No, another show, not your show. Let's do the nothing but net. I'm sorry, I gotta be specific with you. We got nothing but net coming up tomorrow, so do the nothing
Yes,
but
we
net
do.
show intro.
So hang tight. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the intro for Nothing But Net. We are not at 7:15 tomorrow. We're at 7:30. Back to our regular scheduled time. The 7:15 was a final special edition, but 7:30 tomorrow. Taking you through free agency, the big signings, the big trades. Kind of got to make up because last week we had the missed episode. So we're back tomorrow. I think we have full strength tomorrow. I think it's the four. I think it's JG. I think it's Josh. I know it's myself. Excuse me. And C Perry. So we're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna kick in the door and wave. No man. That's not I'm about to get more into hip hop. But no, we're gonna make it happen tomorrow and we're gonna have a good time. Hopefully we can educate. I want to definitely get the guys' thoughts on the Jalen Brown thing and figure out what they think. Um but the good part, and I don't know if you want to get in this tonight, but in 2 days we get AJ versus Peterson. And Peterson been balling in these summer league games. He had a 28-point night and he had a 25-point night.
Mm.
And Boozer, I think, had a double-double in his 2 games. So the rookies have shown up. The only rookie that I think I saw struggle was Acuff. He was like 10 for 28. But that's also, I mean, I don't care about your stat lines in that regard in summer league because you get a lot of grenades in summer league. So,
And speaking of which, real quick, it's a G League veteran that the Lakers got. And people talking about, man, who this old dude they got the Lakers got? They trying to trot out anybody, but the man can bowl.
I haven't seen him. So
number 40. I gotta remember his name. But people talking stuff, man. Don't judge a book by its cover.
But you also, I mean, the last Laker great summer league was by Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, Kyle Kuzma probably had one of the best summer leagues that I've seen a guy actually perform in summer league and then turn into a decent regular season. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was this one? Oh, you send a check?
Huh?
You send a check to him? You see this comment?
No. I mean, this is a free Josh from Highly Opinionated. Also from Nothing But Net. Said 2 of the best people in the world, Craig. The big guy KG, Midnight Rider, salute. Thank you guys for being a shining example of what sports media should be. Appreciate that, man.
He can give you a compliment, boy. That boy, he like this. He like the young Steve Harvey of compliments. He'll introduce you, make you feel good, make you like yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And he said the NBA Summer League has been much watched. I need to get on the ball. I've been recording it, so I got to go back. I got so much stuff on my damn DVR to go back and watch.
I got a whole year of MLB Centrals. I've been watching like here and there occasionally. That I need to make something happen with.
Now we got some MLB mid-season report. He said, "Show your love."
Now coming to the stage, show your love. For.
I'm gonna say this right here with the MLB next Tuesday. We got to figure out what we're gonna do because the All-Star game's next Tuesday.
Is that the 13th?
No, it's the 14th because today the 7th. So next Tuesday. I mean, maybe we can run a rerun and watch the All-Star game and enjoy that. But
your call the game?
Huh?
What time's the game?
Ooh, let me see. I got some questions for you.
All right, we can do that.
Since we talking All-Star game.
All right.
Now you know
baseball.
MLB, you got the home run derby, you have all these things that you got. I had some ideas I wanted to run by none other than my esteemed partner, the Midnight Rider.
Okay, let's go.
Just to spice up the All-Star Weekend. It starts at 8 p.m.
So more likely after player introductions, we're talking about probably an 8:30 start.
Yeah, so we go 45.
So let's go. No, let's do it this way. Let's go. Hey, let's do a 45 show. And then let's do the first 2 innings.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it as a show watch and yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Is Anthony still in?
Yeah, he just threw a comment in there.
All right, Anthony, I need you. Let's stay off of soccer. I want to get to baseball. Because I just heard a comment as I was watching the Marlins game. You got to tell me about, I know you have a catcher named Liam. I think it's Liam Edwards. And there's another catcher. Because I've just seen the other catcher throw out somebody. Give me a note about your 2 catchers as I watch it. Oh, Victor Robles is wearing number 10. Change his number. Good God. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Where you want to start, KG? I'm here.
All right. Let's start with the Midsummer Classic is next week. As we said, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Now we got the home run derby. You got the futures game. You have I think you got a celebrity game on Monday. I got a couple ideas.
I think you also have I thought they did this in All-Star Weekend. I might be wrong, but I thought they had like a black college All-Star game themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ken Griffey's the person behind that.
Now, here's something to add to, because the MLB All-Star game is beautiful because it's always during the middle of the week, and it seems like such a fun time. And I used to love watching it as a kid, especially the home run derby when they used to put it on Fox. And you didn't have to have cable. You could watch all the festivities on Fox. But I got a couple of things I want to run by the Midnight Rider, see what he thinks. To add to, you have short hop drills. So the infielders taking short hops, throwing the first.
No. Next.
Okay. You get another celebrity baseball game, but here's the caveat. It's with the players of people from the best baseball movies.
No. Next.
Last but certainly not least, we have a pitching competition. But I like to call it the Tom Glavine effect. It's called Paint the Corners.
No. All right, so let's go back to what you said. So first one, the second one is the one that's the worst.
Let me put the S's by it.
Worst, and I'm apologize because I don't mean to say it this way. But here's why I say this. Go watch a baseball movie. You will see a pitcher or you'll see a kid pitch with his left hand in the movie. And then the next pitch is with his right hand. And then he'll hit right-handed, and then he'll hit left-handed. It's like, yo, he's not ambidextrous. This kid ain't, you just don't know how the camera angle is. And you just realize you can't fake that he's right-handed because he's more natural lefty or vice versa. It's the same thing with, I think it's Kevin Costner in Bull Durham. If you watch Bull Durham, I didn't know he might have been a switch hitter, but there's some at bats where he comes up right-handed, and then there's some at bats where he's a lefty when he hits a home run. I think his record-breaking home run was him standing in the left-handed batter's box.
Okay. What's wrong with the short hop drills?
Because you got to make that work. Like, you can't always get the short hop or make it work the right way. Like, it's never going to be fair. And then B, like, no offense, but who gives a damn about the short hop? People either want to see the baseball go over the wall. Like, maybe, you know what? Your better bet may have been, or your better option may have been, or the one that could have been plausible, is because you got the kid in Tampa, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but you might have want to do like a home to first competition, kind of like a fastest man deal, or first to third, meaning home to third, to see who can get from home to third the fastest. That might be a better option.
Okay. Now, here's my thinking. Pull my coat and follow me on this one. I say the short hop drill because you got the home run derby, and that just focuses on your power hitters. What about, most second basemen, shortstops, and third basemen, they not really always power hitters. Sometimes the first baseman not a power hitter. Give them some shine so they got something to do on during the All-Star break. So you got little kids running the bases, and okay, the short hop come in and you got to turn two.
Okay. So let's while you propose that, what I'll do is propose the play action fake drill in the NFL for the Pro Bowl. All you gotta do, you gotta watch the quarterback go out, fake it, tuck it, turn, and throw it. And he got to throw it into three holes, and if whatever they are, he gets points for it.
I'd watch that.
Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. I can't win.
Come on now. You talking to the man that wants to bring back the quarterback challenge, man.
Won't win with you, can't win with you. Jesus.
Okay, what's wrong with paint the corners?
it's not interesting. The matches will be like the people gonna be sitting in the stands bored out of their mind.
So to paint the corners, you got a strike zone set up, and you get 4 chances to paint all 4. Well, you get 6 chances to paint all 4 corners, but you can't go down the middle. You got to be able to paint the corners. So your best control pitchers got to paint the corners and get it inside the strike zone.
All right. Then I guess your next infield event or your next event would be watching sand go through an hourglass. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You're not entertaining nobody with the paint the corners. I know what you're trying to do. No. The people don't ain't come. That's look. Remember what they said. Chicks dig the long ball. Ain't nobody said chicks dig the fastball on the paint. That's all I'm gonna say. My bad. I don't mean to crush you like that, but I'm just saying.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know who you are anymore. I get the celebrity baseball game with the baseball movie actors. I get that, but I'm thinking like you got the cast of The Sandlot versus.
You know how much they hit on those like. Think about how much when you watch a baseball movie, you see the ball leave their hand and it hit the glove. You never see this in between. There's a reason.
But that's why it's a celebrity game. It's not, I'm not expecting them to hit home runs. I'm not expecting Benny the Jet Rodriguez to bust the guts out of a baseball.
Just think about who was it? What's his name? Joe Kane throwing an out route on TV. Yeah, on TV it looked good. That out route, yeah. You see something, the part about it that hurts me is when you see their form and you like, yeah, they ain't getting it like that. You see Charlie Sheen throw a fastball and you like, 99, sure.
Well, he was hitting the low 80s. He was hitting the mid to high 80s. I'm sorry. In Major League. So I just wanted to try these things.
I know.
Now, if you had to, for the mid-season report, you have to pick your right now ALCS teams, your NLCS teams.
Oh, this is all right. Now you cooking with gas, brother. You should have started with this. You should have led with this.
Look.
What's that movie?
That's what.
What did she say? Oh, it's Oh, I know exactly what movie it is. Is Big Daddy with Adam Sandler and he's the roommate of the guy from I can't think of the show. I can't think of his name now. But they are having a surprise party and Adam Sandler walks in first and everybody's like, "Happy birthday!" And then the actual guy comes in right after and they're like the one guy that's like paying attention is like, "Hey, happy birthday, buddy." And the guy realizes it's a surprise party for him. And the girlfriend comes over and is like, "We wasted the good happy birthday on you." So that's what this sounds like, dog.
Well,
so ALCS, NLCS, are we doing? So we're doing the two teams in these ball games, right?
Yep.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting this one. This is a great question. I think Tampa Bay is going to be there.
Okay, I agree with you there
because they've been, yeah, yeah. I think Tampa Bay is definitely there. Who's going to be on the other side of the ledger? You know what? I'm gonna live out on a limb today, and I'm gonna go Chicago.
Sox.
because the Sox have and because they get the third baseman back Nakamori, they get him back soon, so that's going to just help their offense more. Um, so I think those could be the two teams there in the NLCS. Ah, well, we know one team's the Dodgers
Agreed.
because I think they can just throw 8 pitches at you no matter what. Like no matter what their starting five is, there's 3 more pitches that are around this team that can be dangerous. You just worry about, and I don't remember their closer off the top of my head. Um, I'm gonna go Brewers. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brewers. What?
I didn't say anything. I just wrote it down when I asked the question. Didn't say anything. I just wrote down what I picked. We both got Dodgers and Brewers in the NLCS.
Okay. What
So
you got in America?
I feel good.
Yeah, but what in the American League?
Rays Yankees.
Okay. I mean, I get it because you get judged back at a time, well, after a certain period of time where it can work. You get, I mean, coming out of the break, you get Garrett Cole. You get the guy with the funky last name that starts with an S. Um, like it can, like the Giants. I mean, the Yankees can get to that point. And as long as they're on the other side of the ledger from the Rays, yeah, we could end up with Rays Yanks in the ALCS.
Now, here's one for you. Your 2 MVPs.
Oh, Junior Caminero easily for the AL. And if y'all had time, I think it was 2 years ago, you check out our MLB preview show. You'll hear some things because I know a guy that liked Junior Caminero early on. And the sad thing is Caminero is a technically he's actually an ex Indians prospect that got traded towards the end of the season for a reliever. Um, and so he's one of those few situations where the team that wanted the short term success actually ends up losing out on a great prospect. Because you get Caminero, you get Jose Ramirez, um, that Cleveland team. I know they're struggling right now to get to the point where Jose is back, but yeah, that could be interesting. Or could have been interesting, let's just say. What else you got for me?
Well, if you want to give me a bonus, Cy Young.
That's a that. Yo, get G. Good peach, man. Good peach, man. That's a very good peach. Um, Cy Young. I think there's a kid from the Phillies that was on the street. I gotta look his name up. Um, hopefully I can get to this real quick. I'm gonna just go to like leaders and wins. But there's a kid from the fields that was pretty good. Why are we? No, that's not what I want. I want a player, National League. Um, Give me 1 second. It's not Ashby. It was Sanchez. So Christopher Sanchez, the kid from the Phillies that I thought should be up top, but it looks like this kid, Ashby, Milwaukee, Aaron Ashby, is giving some trouble. And then of course you got the Miz also as an option. So if you want me to make a pick, I think I'm gonna pick Miz. as my NL Cy Young.
All right.
Um, American League. We doing Cy Young, American League. Actually, I think I already know who that is. I think I'm gonna go Gavin Williams for Cleveland.
Gavin Williams. All right. And Anthony says, to me, the control starter or reliever has gone the way of the dinosaur because these private coaches are consistently teaching velocity over control. That's what makes paint the corner so fun. Everybody can't do
it. Yeah, everybody's gonna be taking a sleep, taking a nap, or going to the bathroom during paint the corners.
Andy said, I think it's going to be Yankees, Astros in the American, in the ALCS, Brewers, Dodgers in the NLCS, and World Series, Brewers, Astros. I wouldn't mind Brewers, Astros. Brewers sweet though, and he said, I feel what's carrying the Tampa Bay team is their pitching staff, both starters and relievers, and the majority of Tampa fans that live around and I talk to online say the same.
I totally agree with that.
Now, bringing it close to home, the Nats offense.
Yo, I mean, I know I'm watching them now, and I think for some reason I think they're down 4-2. Last night they won a crazy game, 12-11. James Wood hit a home run. Oppo, Topo, 446. What he's doing to a baseball is ridiculous. And there's another person, and I'm hey, throw your stones at me. Because I said this guy should have been gone. I was ready to get rid of him. But it looks like he got into a program where he found a way to make things work. And that young man's name is Luis Garcia. In the last 2 weeks, that's 15 games worth of baseball. He's hitting 354. He's got 17 hits in 48 at bats. He's got 9 home runs. So that means of those 17 hits, 9 of them are home runs. Think about it. 17 RBI, 12 runs scored, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, on base percentage of 415, slugging 979, and his OPS is 1.394. And then he's got 2 home runs versus the Pirates on 7-3, a home run versus the Pirates on 7-5, and 2 home runs against the Orioles on 628. I will tell you right now, to the cows come home, I was so ready to move on from this guy. I was good. But I think and I keep telling people, sometimes when you don't have the pelts on the wall, and I'm gonna say it this way, when you don't have the posts on the wall, you are more comfortable with being coached. So like if this coaching staff, Tabani and those guys were doing what they do now, and they were doing it with Jason Worth and Ryan Zimmerman, this would have never worked. But because you got a team that's got a lineup where there's nobody over the age of 28 that has taken a bat this season for this team, they can do these little quirky things. You know, they give these guys all these hitting reports. They have these meetings once every, I think it's every 4 weeks, where they talk about like your progress over the last 4 weeks. And I know veterans would look at them like they're crazy, but because you got a bunch of young guys, they accept this. They're open to this. And I think that's what's helping the Nats out and why we're in this place, because they're not just manipulating their lineup on somebody's hunch. They're manipulating their lineup based on matchups. And they put this lineup through the computer a couple times and they get the best lineup. And then the only thing that doesn't change in this lineup is James Wood at 1. Everything else, Anybody, it's all fair game.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Hey, before you ask the question, do you want to get out in like 115, 120 and skip the WNBA report?
We can do that.
Okay.
Uh, my question is, with the Nationals being 47 and 45, 6.5 games off the first place lead in the NL East, after the All-Star break, can they make a surge, close the gap, maybe get to 1.5, 2 games back off the lead?
Well, it depends. I mean, that's going to depend on what happens with in Atlanta and what happens with the Phillies because both of those teams have been up and down. Phillies been on a good streak lately. They stole 3 out of 4 from the Nationals. Um, the Braves have lost. I think they lost 8 out of the last 10. I think they had 2-8 in their last 10, and don't quote me on this, but I think that's where they are, or something crazy like that. Like they just been on a bad streak. So anything is possible with them. But I I still it's still something. I still when I watch them play the Nationals, I know their offense is solid, but their pitching is so bad. Like they're basically just like if you got an arm and you can throw over like 90 miles per hour, like they're just bring you in. They just brought in some kid Crook, um, and like he's got like a 17.21 ERA, and that's misleading because he just could have had a blow up game. Um, they made a trade with the Orioles recently to bring in somebody. Um, like they're at the point now where you're just reaching to just get somebody, get something. And the good thing is, bullpen help doesn't make you sacrifice your top level prospects. Like you can get a guy for a guy that's like your 35th or your 28th prospect, because they did that before, and the guy will go off in anonymity, and you'll never know that they traded Daniel Hudson for this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the difference now with not even a difference. That's just the reality. So maybe, and actually one of the names that I thought they could have moved, but they just DFA'd him was Robert Hassel. Hassel's one of the centerpieces of the trade for Juan Soto. Uh, he actually emerged a little bit late last year as a prospect, but then I just think part of his problem was I just think this system didn't work for him. And I just saw that he got DFA because they just added somebody to the roster. So basically, he got designated for assignment. If he doesn't get signed, he can come back to the team. Um, Problem is, I mean, he's a good player, but I just think he doesn't fit what they do now. And because he doesn't fit, I mean, it's a situation where he's floundering. And I would love. The only problem is the Orioles don't have a need for outfielder. I would love to see them go somewhere like, um, well, no, because Adele is playing good. Like he's got to find him a team or a program that needs outfielders, and I think he can go somewhere and readjust and recalibrate. Because I don't think Washington was the place or is the place that is meant for him. Maybe he goes to Cleveland. He could go to Cleveland. Nah, they got Quan. You got the Lauder. So I'm gonna talk them myself out of that. Um, can't go to Houston. Can't go to the Mets. But he's gotta find a place. You know, the Marlins got Stowers and those guys, so that's not good. Maybe Cincinnati, but he's got to find a place. That's the hard part when you're um like you're underachieving. You got to find somebody that's going to take the risk on you. But I think he'll get picked up. but I would love to see them use him as a trade marker to get like. I'm not asking you to go get Aaron, to go get Aroldis Chapman, but you can get me like a C level guy because I think that's where their problem is right now. It's like I don't think you can fix this with a bunch of A level guys and like, oh, we gonna go all in. I think the way you fix this is you get you or you find you a guy that's Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy. No, here's a guy. Um, that he might be struggling a little bit, but he's got a power arm, so maybe you can use him in some situations and you can get by. Because the problem is, I don't think you're gonna get the quality guy because I think bullpen arms are gonna be at a premium this year because the teams are so close. Because you got so much parity, I think it's going to be tougher. And plus, the AL sucks. So the NL teams have been beating up on the American League as this goes along. So that's another thing that you got to worry about. Like I think at one point, I think the whole National League Central was above 500, and that's partially because they played a lot of American League teams early,
All right.
especially the AL West.
All right. Well, coming up on that time. 2 minutes. Wrap that shit up, B. What you got?
Shindy Carter, Las Vegas Aces. Looks like she got released again. Um, Baby girl, you just gotta figure it out. You gotta make a way to find a way. You gotta help me help you. At some point, it ain't always done. At some point, it's you. You the problem. You can't. You're not the option or the answer because they don't care enough to keep you after they get a certain amount of exposure to you. So it's something you're not doing right. It's something in the way that you make them feel that is not making it work for them. And if you want me to evoke some Tracy Spencer, you not getting no tender kisses tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like you messing this whole thing up for the whole family, bro. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what it is. You know what?
When I do that, I'm trying to catch myself because I know I'm gonna start singing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave it alone. For my wrap it up, Kyle Lowry, Mr. Toronto Raptor, if you want to be technical, has retired.
Right.
Hall of Famer.
Oh God, caught me mid drink. You know they can't. Nah, I'm good.
Okay. I asked the question because I wanted you to know. I'm unsure. This is one of them things you got to sit back and look at the entire career, look at the impact. But that's that. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for allowing us.
Hold on. There's some crazy mess where there's like this crazy 16 trade that's coming through the pipeline. What we'll do is we'll update it on the Sideline Junkies podcast network. But there's buzz of a sixth. Oh, I get it. Yeah, let's go ahead and go because I need to figure this one out.
All right. Andy said he don't think he retired on his own accord. He think he was forced to retire because of his massive gambling investigation he's involved in with the FBI still.
Who's that?
We'll find out.
You talking about Kyle Lowry?
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry? Okay. I hadn't heard that, so that's news to me.
Well, thank you for letting us come into your home, your cars, through your phones, everything. Tomorrow night, 7:30, nothing but net back in their normal time slot. Make sure you there. We'll be back on Thursday with the Mount Rushmore of ESPN hosts.
ESPN anchors, yes, sir.
Be ready for that. But until then, that's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy KG. We are out of here.